Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another mildly interesting video where I say around 0 funny lines and 100% exposition. When Bocchi The Rock first aired in fall of 2022, I don't think anyone was expecting it to become the biggest anime in the entire season, because they had Chainsaw Man airing at the same time, and that was like the most hyped anime show of like pretty much the entire year. So imagine everyone's surprise when Bocchi The Rock just straight up beat Chainsaw Man at the end, and even managing to reach a 9.01 star rating when the final episode dropped. Meanwhile, Chainsaw Man now sits at a pretty good 8.68 stars. Once again, it's a pretty good rating, but not when compared to its early ratings. Compare that to Bocchi The Rock, which was like much lower than Chainsaw Man. And yet, as time went on and on, Bocchi The Rock's higher started to go higher and higher and higher, while Chainsaw Man's ratings started to get lower and lower and lower. And then, on one fateful day, in December of 2022, they finally had the same rating of 8.82 stars, and I was ecstatic. At the time, I was kind of following along Bocchi The Rock. I wasn't really that dedicated to following it. I was also studying for exams at the time, but I still really enjoyed the show a lot, and I think I did enjoy the show more than Chainsaw Man, surprisingly. And having just finished the show, I can see where all of the good stuff is coming from. Now, normally, I would just rant out the plot of the show, and as I go on, I would describe like, oh, by the way, this character does this, and this character does this. But after my failures with my English writing practice, as well as looking back on my previous video that I made, like in more movies, to be honest. But oh no, despite all the parkour skills, the bad guy's getting away. He's plowing through everything. It probably isn't the right decision. So instead, I'm going to be bringing this review down into 4 categories: the visuals, the audio/soundtrack, the characters, and the plot. So, let's begin. Let's start with the visuals of the anime. They are fantastic, and they work perfectly with what the show is trying to do, being a visual comedy/slice of life. Now, we have seen those types of like visual comedies, but this is Bocchi The Rock that we are talking about. And in this case, the visual comedy is pretty fantastic. Every episode will always have some sort of like unique type of animation, and you don't know what's going to be happening in the next episode. That's kind of what makes it fun to see like whether like you've seen like the meme online on like YouTube, like say the Bocchi glitch, and you're just like waiting for like that episode to happen, and when it happens, you're just like, oh my god, it happened, and I have witnessed it with my own 2 eyes. So I think that definitely like makes it much more enjoyable. But the way that the visuals are made is that they can just be sometimes just straight up weird, but that adds to the comedy factor a lot. Like, take this famous scene in episode 11, which pretty much took the internet by storm. I don't think anybody was expecting Bocchi The Rock to get turned into a Blender 3D low poly model to get flung towards some square cubes like it's Wii Sports Bowling. But I think that's what makes it really funny. You're not predicting any of this. You're not thinking that this could happen. Now, we have seen other animes do like visual comedy, just like exaggerated like backgrounds and exaggerated character faces, but this one takes it to a whole new level. For this scene, for example, they could have just made Bocchi do like a surprise shock face, and that would have been pretty good. But no, the animators decided to literally just start glitching her body out of existence like she's undergoing some cyber psychosis. That's what makes it unpredictable, and that's what makes it so fun to watch. That is definitely a big strength of the show. Despite the simplicity of the character designs, it makes it really much more versatile to be able to like twist and like bend those designs into so many different ways that you can literally get away by putting live action footage in the show. Yes, that actually happens. I was not expecting this, but it was a welcome surprise. Part 2, the audio aspect. Now, despite what Bocchi The Rock may seem to be a cute girls doing cute anime things, I guess, it is still a band anime. It's about music and about forming a band in high school at its core. So, the songs have to be pretty good, and they have to be original in a way. And let me tell you, they definitely deliver. Now, I cannot play any of these songs because I love money and I kind of want to make some in the future, but you can just search up Kesoku Band on like Spotify, YouTube Music, whichever platform you're using, honestly. I think it should be pretty much everywhere. Now, admittedly, some of them can feel and sound generic, like I kind of like forget the melodies after like 5 seconds. But the opening, oh my god, I want to talk about the opening for a moment here. It is incredibly catchy. It has like this really catchy melody with like a really, really nice drum beat. That's kind of all I have to say. I don't know how to describe this. It's just super catchy. I haven't seen anything like this since like the Black Sheep Brie Larson version or On a Roll by Ashley O. Yes, I love Scott Pilgrim and Black Mirror. How could you possibly know? Part 3. The characters. Since this is a slice of life, there's not going to be that much plot in it. It's just a bunch of girls doing a bunch of things. I mean, that's literally one of the tags of the show. Cute girls doing cute things. So, a huge emphasis would have to be placed on the characters to make it enjoyable to watch. And they do a pretty good job of this. Bocchi The Rock is surprisingly relatable. Now, she may not be as relatable to me as other people as I've seen on the internet so far. I'm fairly more of like half introvert, half extrovert. I really like hanging out with friends, but I also sometimes like to have some personal time. But I can totally understand why Bocchi thinks the way that she does in the show. It may be exaggerated, but it's definitely around the right mindset. Like, for example, when you're entering a store, I can understand what it feels like when you're just entering there the first time and you're nervous about, like, what are they gonna think about me? What are they gonna recommend to me? Like, what if I do this one thing, and then they assume this thing, and then they're gonna say this to me? How do I tell them that no, it's actually not like that case? I can totally understand where Bocchi is coming from, because I used to feel those same things. And for Kita-chan, she's pretty much the extrovert of the group. And I can safely say, yes, that's pretty much how extroverts work. They like to just walk around, they have like this sort of like infinite energy just within them. They drag their friends around. They're the ones that just point out like, oh, we should go here, because like this place is good, or this place is good, or this place is that way, or this place is this other way. They're the ones that'll just point out like all the locations and then just drag their friends to all of them. They're the ones who will take the stairs instead of the escalators because it's gonna be way more fun. They're the ones that plan out the entire day and still have enough energy to get through the entire day. She's pretty much the one-to-one equivalent of extroverted people that I have met so far in real life. Now, my sample size of meeting people may be a little small, but I can safely say she is a well-written character. And for the Doritos girl and the Yamaha girl, well, I haven't really met that much people in life, but they are also extremely entertaining. Yamaha's antics of just essentially just trying to extort money out of like as many people as she possibly can, that is kind of funny in a way. I kind of enjoy her antics. And for the Doritos girl, well, she is also incredibly energetic. She's able to communicate with Bocchi pretty well. I have seen these things happen in real life. So yeah, these characters are pretty much well written, unlike what some other people may say. Now, to be fair, I might be biased. Obviously, everyone's school experiences and people experiences are going to be very different. Maybe some people will be diagnosed with social anxiety, and that's why they feel like they want to like burst into tears just like seeing it. Which, right away, I can definitely see where that's coming from. I have never been able to see a show that makes me want to laugh and feel like crying at the same time, just because of the relatability. So I can understand why other people may feel like she's incredibly relatable, but at the same time, I also understand how other people may not see Bocchi as relatable because they are extroverts themselves. So I can understand where all those people are coming from, and I don't think any answer is wrong here. I think the characters can be left up to your own interpretation of whether they're relatable or not. I just want to make that clear. Part 4, the story. There really isn't any. After all, it's a cute girls doing cute things anime with slice of life elements mixed in it, so there's not going to be that much plot. So pretty much the only reason you want to see the show is because you like slice of life anime, or you like cute girls doing cute things anime, or you're probably just looking for like a new music-based anime to get your hands on. I'm gonna be honest, when I was starting the show, I was just like, oh, it's got an 8-star rating. That's gotta be pretty good. I've seen like the Bocchi glitch on meme online. I think I'll go check out the first episode. I was hooked by the first episode. The opening just like drew me in. It was so catchy, as I've said before in part 2 of the video. And the fake out in like the middle of the episode, whoops, a bit of a spoiler alert, but I do not care, as it's pretty much only the first episode that I'm discussing. That fake out at the middle of the episode just pretty much convinced me, okay, this really is gonna be something else. And it was something else. I thoroughly enjoyed this a lot, and I think you will enjoy it a lot as well. Whether you're just looking for some cool music, or just looking for some cool comedy anime, or you're a fan of slice of life, or maybe you're looking for a bit of a new version of K-On! I have not watched K-On! By the way. I'm still surprised that it managed to beat Chainsaw Man in ratings, but we live in a society, I guess. What a society that we live in.